Welcome back to Dishin With Democracy. This is episode 9, part 2, and we will be introducing a guest from the Visa and Immigration Services office here on campus. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and introduce our team of hosts. My name is Maria. I'm a senior majoring in psychology, and I am on the pre law track. My pronouns are she, her, hers.
Hi, my name is Leslie and I use she, her pronouns. I'm a double major in psych and sociology, and I'm also on the pre law track.
Hi everyone, I'm Isabella. I'm a third year here. I'm majoring in political science and on a pre-law track, and my pronouns are she, hers.
Hello, my name is Chloe, and I also use she, her pronouns. I'm a freshman, and I'm majoring in marine biology, and I'm excited to be here.
We thank everyone for introducing themselves. Now we will be introducing our special guest of the day. She is Duvina Serotan, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. She is an international student from Guyana, South America. She is majoring in chemical engineering, and in her spare time, she likes to read, shop, and listen to music. So we are going to now introduce her into the stream. All right. Hi, Duvina. How are you doing today? I think you are muted. There we go.
Hi everyone, sorry about that. I'm Davina. Nice to meet you all.
All right, Davina, thank you so much for being here today. We are so excited to have this conversation with you, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in. I wanted to ask you just to go ahead and tell us why you started working at the Visa and Immigration Services office, and just to explain a little bit about what it is for those of us who may not know what it is.
So when I first started here in my freshman year, I was just really looking for a job. And at the time of, I was just looking for advice. So I actually went into the Visa and Immigration Services to get advice from one of the advisors on, like, how to get access to my resources and so on campus. And that's when I learned that they also have student assistants there that help them with their daily tasks. So and you know what, I just took the opportunity, and I applied there for a student assistant, and I got the job. And I thought to myself, it's going to be very useful for me to be working there as an international student, because not only would I get like a bunch of experience, but I will also be helping myself to be more knowledgeable and more aware of the resources that are available to me as an international student, and make things so much easier for me here working there, because the Visa and Immigration Services usually help international students with like getting their I-20, which is like a legal document to come here to study as a F1 student. They help students get jobs off campus, like get their legal documents so that they could work on campus. Help them getting their social security here. And yeah, those are just a few things that the Visa and Immigration Services help international students obtain.
That's really cool. Honestly, before doing the research for this project, I didn't even know that there was an office on campus that helped international students in this aspect. And I think I also just wanted to ask you because I'm curious myself if the office helps students in applying for citizenship or renewing their visas, things like that.
Yeah, definitely. So usually students that come here, they apply for their residency, and that's definitely something that the Visa and Immigration Services helps them with, like to get their green card, whether it's through like a work authorization. They also help students get through the entire process, because sometimes these students, they have to like go through lawyers, apply for petitions, stuff like that, all of which the Visa and Immigration Services help the students do.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. I think that it's important to, share these resources, and I think that I want to just be able to include this as part of our, like on our episode in the caption, just some information about the office because I think it's great.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of students on campus that I know, like domestic students, they're not like aware that there is a Visa and Immigration Services office on campus. They're so surprised, but there really is one. And sometimes the Visa and Immigration Services even helps domestic students because sometimes some of them want to um, apply for like a letter to invite their foreign relatives to come for their graduation ceremonies. And so that's something we also help them with, um, because we like provide a letter to them, which their relatives could use to apply for their visa to come for the ceremonies. So not only do we help international students, but we help domestic students as well.
I think it's great that the Visa and Immigration Service offices provide so many resources available for students and just services in general. Um, but I was wondering if they provided like other sort of student services at the office, such as counseling services or anything that kind of in that sort of aspect for students.
Yeah, definitely, because we have there's like a bunch of advising hours throughout the week. They do have walk-ins and online appointments that students can sign up for. Um, and usually we have like a lot of students coming in asking for advice because a lot of times the students, they tend to get confused, they tend to get frustrated, they don't know what to do, so they come in, they ask for advice, and we have a bunch of advisors in our office that tend to these students needs, and help them out to get their whatever help they may need.
I think that's great that those sort of services are available. I think, looking at it from their perspective, I think, these sort of researches are important, especially because of the difficulties that may arise from being international students or just having to go through that process. So
Yeah,
thank you for
definitely.
Yeah, I also saw that in the beginning. You also talked in the beginning how you yourself went there for advice and seeking advice. So I think it's important that, we discuss that here because it is a very hard and unique experiences when you're dealing with that, whether you're domestic or international. So I think it's great that you are able to, tell us that and other services besides like the paperwork part. So I wanted to ask you that since you do see a wide range of different types of students from different cultures and backgrounds, what would you say are some of the most difficult things as college students they face when they are transitioning into living in the US?
um One of the difficult things that I've came across is that there's this language barrier. Like, yes, they do speak English. They do, understand what we're saying. But then there's sometimes there are words that are a bit confusing, and we have to break it down to them. Like, oh, like this is what this means, and this is how you do this particular thing. So there's definitely that language barrier. Um, some of them may not understand like the US culture. So we this is all the things that we spend time explaining to them because in their country they might do something different than the way the US does it. So all of these things we have to, spend time explaining to them and making them understand. And for me, at first, this was a bit of a challenge to me because obviously in my country we do things differently. But as time went by, I was able to, adjust and I was able to understand these things. So I was capable of, explaining to these students as well, stuff that maybe have been confusing and cleared those doubts for them as well. So that's definitely something.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think culture shock is definitely like a huge obstacle that, many people who are not used to this or used to American culture, are familiar with. They might see it in like movies and media, but once you're in it, it's very different. So it's nice that they can kind of go there to seek help and to kind of adjust and get comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's got to be absolutely shell-shocking on top of entering college in general, right? That's a milestone that can be hard to overcome, but emulsifying yourself in a new culture that is completely new can also be very overwhelming. So it's really important that your office does that. That's fantastic. So I kind of want to ask like a little bit of a different question. Do you find that students are familiar with the American government at all?
Um, I'd say they are like for like a they're aware like a fair amount. But I don't think that they're like fully aware of like the government. Like they know it exists, and these are the things that they do, but like I don't think that they know anything really in detail, you know. They just know like background, like the basic information that everybody knows. Like um but like classes such as like political science and stuff like that. I know that international students definitely take. Like me, for instance, I did take political science, a political science class, and I was able to learn a lot about the U.S. government through taking that class. And I'm pretty sure a lot of international students, they also do the same thing, and that's how they also learn. There's always social media that they can learn through, but I think these political science classes are like a key, factor contributing to how these international students learn about U.S. government.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I'm glad that we're able to like offer a class like that and it's like still at a digestible type of level because like even living here my whole life, the government can still get confusing because it's like
Yeah.
a whole new language when you get really into it. So, do you think that it like matters if they are or they aren't? Just like pertaining to the aspects that like really affect them or even the ones that don't really?
I think it's important that they know about the government. Like, um, there was this uh, there was this there was this tax period. Um, it was during our office. Like we even called it a tax period in our office because international students, they were required to file their taxes. So that was a big thing in our office. So it is important that they're aware of these things because it concerns them. Because like I said, we have to file our taxes, even though we're international. So these things concern us. So it's important that we're aware of the government.
Yeah, it's super spectacular that your office offers that like kind of services, especially on such a large campus because we're kind of like our own little community. So that's really awesome because I know taxes is like out of like that's hard for everyone. So that's really
Yeah.
super spectacular.
I definitely agree. I think there definitely needs to be more awareness of certain aspects that you have to file. And, I'm sure these international, even domestic students don't even realize that they do have to do these sort of important things. And I know you've discussed, a multitude of services your office provides, information your office provides. But I was wondering if there was like one piece of information or advice you'd like to share as a kind of final food for thought, just as a final sharing.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to encourage like all international students to like make not only international students, but I'd like to encourage domestic students as well. I'm pretty sure domestic students, they have a lot of international friends, and it's important that everybody knows about the resources that are available to them, especially the visa and immigration services, because working there, I've seen how much the Visa and Immigration Services Office would have been able to help international students, help them to navigate their resources around campus, and to help them get by, help them to get jobs, help them to earn an income. Um, yeah, so it's really important that these students, they use the resources that are available to them and, help them to get by in campus and make the best of their school life here in the US.
Yeah, I agree. I think there definitely needs to be more awareness of that your office is there to provide whatever help needed, such as the services you've discussed. So thank you for sharing.
No problem.
And I just wanted to ask just like one more thing before we let you go. So obviously the goal of our episodes is to have conversations with different people on campus, to talk about immigration in general, and then just go into different aspects of it, which is why we wanted to invite you because there are resources here on campus that students like myself didn't necessarily know about. And I just wanted to ask your opinion about if you think that doing things like this, like having these types of conversations between students and staff members and faculty members, if it's beneficial in bringing more awareness to the topic of immigration in general, and if it's beneficial to getting the word out about the resources that are provided on campus.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a great initiative that you guys are taking to help bring awareness to students because like we said earlier, not a lot of students are aware that these resources are available to them. So I feel like this is very very important. It's important what you guys are doing. I'm pretty sure it will definitely help bring more awareness to students and help students to use the resources that are available to them and to help them become more aware that these resources are actually available to them and it's there to their disposal to use.
Thank you. I completely agree, and that's what at the end of the day our goal is to at least bring awareness to one more person. Obviously we want it to be more than one person, but this is just something that we're starting, and we thank you for being part of the show. I think that having guests who work in the offices, work as faculty, can give us more of the informational part that we wanted to include in the episode. So thank you so much.
No
Is
problem.
there anything else you want to add?
Not really. Just
Okay, thank you so
use your
much
resources.
for being. Thank you so much. And we're just gonna end right here. It's a short little episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Davina, again for being a part of this. Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone has a nice day. It was
Bye.
nice meeting you. Bye. Well, thank you all for tuning into this episode. We hope that you gained some new perspective.
Check us out on our Instagram listed below and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any new episodes.
And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us via email or DM us on Instagram.
We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!